strange. I'm not seeing you in my. Hold on a minute here. Let me see what's going on. Coin collection and more. I see ya. And the YouTube one. They're not in my streaming window. Let's see. Oh, there you are. Okay. How you doing? Little disappointed that I came up with no options to do the hangouts tonight, which is really frustrating because I thought we had till October for some of us, but I guess not. How are you doing this morning or this evening? Good deal. Hey, have you ever seen these war nickels in these holders? This is the ones from the mint. And I'm trying to find some more of them so I can give each of my grandkids some. So I need about 7 more of them. I'll start doing some other coins here in a minute. Yeah, I got a lot of grandkids. You guys would be shocked how much silver and coins I have if I were to take back all the stuff I've given my kids, couple cousins, and my slew of grandchildren. They each have 20 pounds of silver. So you can figure that out pretty quick. Yeah, that's as much as I have now in my collection. But that was years ago that they got that. Back when I was wheeling and dealing on eBay, which was a lot of fun. Well, I'm going to be switching some stuff out. Sensodyne doesn't work. All right. I've been showing my coins over the last couple days and have put most of my coins in a bit of a mess. You want to look at some Morgans, nicer dimes, some graded coins. No, what do you want to look at? Okay, we got one vote for the Morgans. Sensodyne, you got any preference? Hey, Will. All right. Trying to figure out what coins you guys would like to look at tonight. So my world coins are out. I can get to those. And if Christian coins comes in, I'll probably switch to some older German coins. He's in Germany. Will, you got a preference or something you'd like to see? I do have a lot of pennies. Give me a second here. War coins. Yeah, I have a pretty good selection. The way I have my collection, though, it's all in types. So I have boxes of the pennies or nickels or quarters or whatever. And most of the older stuff are in albums. But not all of it. A lot of my foreign is World War II. Some World War One, but most of it's World War II. How about you, Will? You got a preference on what coins? Which game is that? Alrighty. I do play games, and my computer's set up for. Oh yeah, I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons since the start. Haven't played much of it lately. I run a dual screen 4K system, so I'm really into the real high-end graphics games right now, role-playing games and stuff. And I'm kind of stuck. I get stuck on a couple games, and like Red Dead Redemption 2, where I just really enjoy playing that one. And the new Grand Theft Autos is really cool with the casino stuff. I love to gamble. Did Command and Conquer games, Mass Effect. I've been since the beginning of Mass Effect. Well, the beginning of most of the games, like even Doom. You know, I have one of the first Doom games for PC. I think it took Windows Vista. I forget. Grand Theft Auto. I started with the first one. Really enjoyed the fifth one because it allows me to do four-wheeling. And with one of the editors, you can actually get custom cars. I used to drive a special 68 Land Cruiser that was built for doing rock crawling. And I'm able to get that same vehicle with the correct gearing, and it's a lot of fun. Alrighty. The only problem I have with some of the coins is they don't show up as high a quality as what they really are. And I don't know why yet. Well, I know it has to do with the lighting. So, you want to look at some error pennies? I got a big old giant bag of them. Simple errors, though. I don't have any like extreme DDOs or anything. Well, I might have a couple, but they're all mixed in this big old lot. Or I can show some of my higher grade stuff. I looked for my toned proof pennies, but they are missing right now. Do you play anything other than Dungeons and Dragons? Give me just a minute to get this set back up. Now it's going to be a little bit of a hit and miss with the errors because I don't have any of them marked. I just throw them in a bag and then go through them later with a better magnification. All right, see any errors? Okay, let's see here. Yeah, that was almost a mistake. Almost unplugged it. Let's see here. I'm not very well organized right now. Normally I am. I have almost a ton of US coins, so they get a little bit scattered sometimes. All right. Let me change my lighting a little bit. All right, you guys seeing that okay? Looks like where the U in Unum is a little out of focus. Is it for you guys? I'm not seeing much. Sometimes I pull my error coins when there's deteriorated dye or some type of deterioration. But I agree that's out of focus. Let me see here. You see the In God We Trust, how it's kind of like shaded or recessed. That's a deteriorated dye. Hey, Cajun, there you are. Can't do hangouts. My option is gone. And everybody thought we'd have it till October, but I guess they're giving everybody one more chance or something, or a certain amount of hours, or whatever it is. I've exceeded it. So we were just talking about some errors. Or trying to. I haven't shown a good one yet. Well, maybe I should show you guys the ones I was trying to send to Ken Peavy. Let me see if I have lost those or not. Um, On some of these pennies, this is a 61D. If you look at the fields, you see that they're pretty clean. Most of my coins are higher BU coins. And sometimes, well, I see a ridge in front of the one in the date. And you see that little rim recess. Again, I think that's die deterioration. You can also see it in the middle of the T in trust. Yeah, I can't do OBS yet. I haven't been able to get my cameras to run. So I'll start working on that tomorrow and figure it out by this weekend. I was going to do some videos on it, but I've been spending so much time doing the hangouts and on other people's streams that I thought I had till October. So, and I should have been jumping on it just so I can use my microscope because I've got a pretty nice one. And it'll change being able to look at these coins. Oh, anyway, so if you guys look right here, you see that ridge there that runs right through here all the way up to, looks like right to about there. And that's most likely because of the deteriorated die. Let's see what the back looks like. Now, if you guys have any corrections or opinions, that's why I'm here. Feel free to disagree, agree, give more input. Cajun is my moderator. He's in here to make sure you guys don't get foul-mouthed or rude with each other. And if you do, he's going to give you a warning, time you out if necessary, and then the next time he'll boot you out of here so you cannot, well, you'll be able to watch, but you won't be able to let anybody know you're watching. Won't be able to comment, won't be able to do any of the contacting or commenting. And Cajun's got a lot of experience in this. Don't test him. He's got my permission to do whatever he thinks is right without asking. So, you bet. And feel free to ask any questions. This streaming's new to me, so Cajun will probably have to answer some of the questions if it's a a real serious question on streaming, but we'll figure out the rest. So I sell a lot of MS67 pennies. And the thing you got to look for is the full steps. The columns need to be clean. When you get 67, I mean, it's basically flawless. There's just a mark or two, and that's it. And then there's a lot of other things that come into play, like luster, eye appeal, full strike. All these things are really critical to getting an MS67. And I have actually gotten a couple MS68s, which is really hard, but it was on some 80s coins. So when it's not quite so old, it's a little bit easier to get. Okay, hold on a second. Let me get my... there we go. So this one's a really interesting one because there's what's called full cap dies. And unfortunately, I'm not a great error guy. I have some really neat errors, but I just started doing errors this year. I've been collecting them for almost 50 years. So wait until you see the other side of this dime. So here we got a 42 Mercury dime in fair condition. Probably a fine, I think. Then you turn it over and you see this mess. So I know some of these, when the entire coin is covered with that blob, it can be a die cap error. It has a strike through on it. Here, let me show you what I'm thinking on this one. So right there is the strike through, and possibly up here. Now, I think there's even a little one right down there. So what this is when there's an object between the coin and the die, can be like a piece of material, string, there's been screws, wire, all kinds of stuff. And when it gets in between the die and the coin gets stamped, it leaves that impression. Some of them are really cool. Some of them can be really valuable. Yeah, I believe it is possibly a cud. That's when the die breaks. So if you guys understand the way this minting of the coins work, there's like the reverse image of the coin that has been carved into a metal cylinder, like the end of a metal sledgehammer. And that sledgehammer has the design on one side, and then there's another piece that has the other that's sitting below the coin. And when it gets stamped, that's how you get your coin. Now the errors are from when it gets double struck, so the coin, I don't remember, the die gets pushed down and hits the coin, and then comes back up and goes back down, and the coin has moved just a fraction. That's a double die. That's the ones you guys are after. Now the one everybody sees is when the head of the hammer, which is the die, fits on a sleeve, and there's set screws that hold these on. Now they've changed them through the years, but when that set screw was loose, it would vibrate and shimmy around when it did the stamp. So when it would push all the way down, it would vibrate side to side and make the flat edges. We call them shelves. That's machine doubling, and they're worth a whole bunch of nothing. There are people that collect them and will even pay a little bit for them, but the double dies are the ones people will pay hundreds of dollars for. So now a cud is when you have normally a die break that will go across. There'd be like a die break that had gone across this area and then back down. Oh, doing it backwards is so hard. And after a while, that die crack goes away because it completely breaks off and there's no piece there anymore. And then when that die gets pushed down into the planchet, the piece that is the coin, the metal part, there's nothing there for it to stamp. And that's why the other side looks okay, but I don't think it's a cud, because I think if it was a cud, the other side would show some type of issue, and the other side is pretty clean. Now we have other people that might come in here that really know their stuff on these, and we'll be able to clarify things a lot better. But so let's see. Get it right for you guys. So the top of the head is where that error is. So it's like that much of the coin is the blob on the other side. And this looks pretty good. Normally when it's a cud, there's a little bit of issue showing weakness in the strike because there was nothing to push back for it to get a good stamp, or strike is what it's called, on both sides. So, hey Hector, and Motivation Music. How's everybody doing tonight? Hector couldn't do Unfortunately, I had no option tonight to do the hangouts. It said that the hangouts is no longer available. So frustrating. So, on the base of the head. So, with the letters being so strong, Cajun, I'm not sure. I really don't know enough about the cuds and the big advanced cuds, because a lot of the cuds are really small. It's just a little piece, so the pressure issue isn't a big deal. But that's a pretty big spot. Here, let me turn it over for you guys that hasn't seen. Yeah, I will either figure out the other ones that are available, because there is a couple programs that you can do sharing with for the videos, or the live streaming rather. So here's what we're looking at, Hector, and motivation music. Sorry, I need to change my, okay, live chat. So, I am thinking that this is more of a die cap type coin, which is where the coins stack up, if I understand correctly, but I really don't know enough about them. They talked about them tonight, but they didn't, get too involved in how it happens. But they showed some really nice ones where the whole back of the coin was just a blob of metal. Cool. I have a lot of world coins, and some pretty old ones too, but I'm really not that into it, so I don't know my denominations and stuff too well. But that's really cool. You should. Do you have a video about your rare Toller error? So, you guys, I'm not into. Well, it doesn't matter to me if you subscribe to me or not. And if you put the likes and stuff down, everybody seems to think that helps them out quite a bit, but I'm really not trying to advance to anything. So if you just want to come in and hang out, that's fine with me. I don't expect nothing out of you except for politeness and getting along with others, and share the hobby. If you've got something that relates to what we're talking about, feel free to mention it and point people your direction. To the video. I have no issues with that. And it'll take me a few because I'm a little new to the streaming. Hey, Daniel. How are you doing tonight? Yeah, it's a real interesting dime. It's the last coin I put up for Ken Peavy, though. At first, should I forget that gal's name that was on there? She goes, "Oh my goodness, that you know what that could be," and she named some really good error. And then the rest of the panel said, "No, that looks like a shop coin, a shop error," which means somebody took the coin out to the garage and banged on it with a hammer or whatever else to get it to